All right, what's up, everybody? We have an absolutely fire word today. It's been a while since I made one of these videos. I've been slacking, but I had some free time today and I thought, why not just do a verse of the day? So let's just get straight into it. We're in Philippians chapter 1, verses 9 and 10. So I'm going to read it and then we're just going to kind of go through what does this mean? What do some of the words mean in Greek? And how can we apply it to our life today? So Paul says, "And it is my prayer that your love may abound more and more with knowledge and all discernment, so that you may approve what is excellent, and so be pure and blameless for the day of Christ." The first time I read this, I was kind of like, okay, whatever, this might be kind of hard to talk about. And then, I thought about it and I asked ChatGPT, and boom, this is pretty packed actually. So we're gonna get into it. "And it is my prayer that your love may abound more and more." So first, let's talk about that word abound. In Greek, it actually means to overflow. It's like if a river fills up and the water starts to overflow out of the sides. That's what he means when he says abound. So our love shouldn't just be something that we're kind of like, scarcely, oh, okay, I'll give this person a little bit, and I'll give this person a little bit, but I don't have too much. I don't want to help out too much because then I'm not going to want to love anymore. No, our love is meant to be pouring out of us. Every opportunity we get is just boom, everything we got, right? And so that's what that word abound means. And then let's talk about more and more. Our love isn't supposed to be something that is still and static and boring and level. Our love is supposed to be ever increasing, right? We never want to be at a spot where we say, okay, I think I show enough love. I don't need to work on that area anymore, right? It's a constant improvement, more and more. If there's anything that you want to chase after more and more besides Jesus Christ, it is love. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and love your neighbor as yourself. Okay. With knowledge and discernment. This is profound, right? Because he's talking about love. So why does he mention knowledge and discernment? Well, what the Spirit led me to realize is that love and wisdom work together. Think about love without wisdom, right? Maybe it's like spoiling your kids. You don't have any sense of what is good for them. You just have straight love, no wisdom. So they always get candy when they want. They always get the iPad when they want. They get to do whatever they want. Well, we know that kid is not going to grow up to be a functional, healthy, hardworking adult. They're going to grow up to be spoiled. They're going to grow up to be brats, and that's not good. Now think of only wisdom with no love, right? It can be kind of cold and harsh and like, that father who is very strict and straight to the point, right? So those are kind of the two opposite ends of the spectrum. What we want to do is have love with wisdom, right? Because we need to have the wisdom to know how to love. What do I do in this moment? How do I love this person? Because love isn't always one thing, right? Love can look very different depending on the situation. Sometimes love is saying no. Sometimes love is doing exactly what the person you're talking to doesn't want you to do. Sometimes love is bothering someone to tell them about the Bible when they don't want to hear about it. Sometimes love is removing yourself from someone's life. Right? And so love requires wisdom. We can't love fully until we understand what it means. So it's very, very important that we love with knowledge and discernment, right? That we grow in that. We need to be abundant and intelligent, right? And that is something that Christ did so well, was have the balance between loving and also having wisdom to tell us when we are wrong. I think of, the woman caught in adultery. He loved her. He showed abundant love. I do not condemn you, right? And wisdom, go and sin no more. It's so powerful, right? Because you can't just lean one way or the other. It's going to lead to destruction. So you need a balance right in the middle. And so that was a very, very, very profound insight from this passage, is that love with wisdom. If you get one thing out of this video, it is love with wisdom. Love requires wisdom. Okay, Let's get on to verse 10. So that you may approve what is excellent, and so be pure and blameless for the day of Christ. Approve here actually means to choose what is best. So it's more so saying, so that you may choose what is best, kind of like above the mediocre things, and so be pure and blameless for the day of Christ, right? Because we know Jesus tells us to be perfect as our Father in heaven is perfect. The Bible doesn't call us to be, better than average, right? The Bible doesn't say, do your best. No, the Bible says, be perfect. That is the standard. The standard isn't, oh, well, I kind of gave up something, last week, so I'm good. God sees me moving. Obviously, we know that we're not going to be perfect. We can't stop sinning. But that is the standard. And so it's important to understand what God's standard is. And that can give us humility, right? To understand, okay, I can never live up to that standard, but Jesus did. So that's good to know. And so be pure and blameless for the day of Christ. And so the day of Christ obviously here is referring to the day of judgment when Christ comes back and judges us, right? What does it mean to be pure and blameless? To be pure, think about something that is pure, right? Something that is pure is the same on the inside as it is on the outside. There's nothing hidden inside that you can, get to. It's pure. Light is pure, right? It's the same all throughout. Well, to be pure means you have no hidden motives. What the same thing on the inside is the same thing on the outside, right? The opposite of purity would be the Pharisees. They are one way on the inside, and they do things on the outside to make themselves appear righteous, right? That's the outside of the cup being clean, but the inside is filthy. What about blameless? Blameless means that you do not cause others to fall into sin, right? Because if you did, you would be at blame for that. So that's kind of those two ends of the spectrum, is to be pure, to have no hidden motives in your heart, and to not cause others to stumble. So let's put this all together, okay? First comes love. Overflowing, abundant, like a waterfall flowing. I picture in my head right now like a waterfall just giving everything it has to whatever is underneath it, okay? That comes first. But just having that by itself is not good. You need that wisdom and that discernment. That wisdom and that discernment will help you in order to choose the best possible thing. And then, therefore, when Jesus comes, you will be pure and you will be blameless. Hopefully, we took two verses that maybe seemed kind of, I don't want to say boring, but seemed sort of, you just kind of read over those, okay, whatever. And hopefully we turn them into something that came alive for you, that you really understand, wow, like wisdom and love and pure and blameless. So hopefully that helped out. I'll see you on the next video.